There are certain principles that constitute the pillars of the Australian legal system, and today we will be talking about one of them. Hello everyone, my name is Renato Costa, this is Aussie Law, and today we will talk about the principle of representative government. Representative government is a fairly straightforward principle. If we just read the name, it already gives us a bunch of hints of what it really means. It refers to a government that represents something or someone. And that is the idea behind the principle of responsible government. It states that those who have the power to govern have been chosen by the people of a particular state to exercise these political powers and govern over them. And these representatives will be the one making the laws, creating plans and establishing priorities to society, and also coordinating individuals and institutions in order to achieve the purposes that this political community is trying to achieve. So in this sense, there's a difference between direct democracy and representative government or representative democracy. I have talked about direct and indirect democracy already, and you can check it in another video. But the difference here is that in a direct democracy, every single individual will be participating directly in the government. In a society under the principle of representative government, those individuals will be represented by someone else. Certain individuals are chosen to be the representatives of the other individuals, and these representatives will be the one participating directly in the government. So these representatives will be the intermediaries to make the laws for the benefits of those people who put them there. In my video about the colonial laws in Australia, I talked about the evolution and progression of the principle of representative government here, and how it wasn't quite applied in the beginning in the origins of the Australian colony. So if you have the time, check that video as well. And hey, just make sure that you have already clicked the like button and that you are subscribed to our channel already. Well, if we are to choose our representatives, how do we do that? As you already know, the answer is that we do that generally through elections. That's why in my video about the implied right to vote in the Australian Constitution, I said that the right to vote is intrinsically connected to the principle of representative government. Indeed, Section 7 and 24 of the Australian Constitution say that the representatives in the House of Representatives and the Senate shall be directly chosen by the people. This means that the Australian Constitution, without a doubt, has established a system of representative government. People do not participate directly in the government, except in some situations, but they will choose directly who their representatives will be. It's interesting to notice that the Australian Constitution establishes two themes of government representation. We have the national and the federal, with representatives being chosen nationally for the House of Representatives and according to the states for the Senate. But the fact that Australia is a federation also entails a different dimension to this representative government. There are at least two sets of representatives. We have the federal and the states representatives. And that's why you have two elections. One for the federal parliament in Canberra and the other one for the parliament in each one of the capitals of your state. And in a sense, and in practice, we also have some local representatives in each one of the local councils throughout Australia. So we could even talk about three levels of government in Australia. You choose the representatives at the federal level, at the states level, and at the local level. So the principle of representative government empowers individuals who have been chosen to govern on behalf of the people who elected them. And this, of course, requires a certain level of accountability. I mean, if I want my values, my perspectives, my ideals to be upheld by those who I voted for, my representatives, I need to have some way to making and holding them accountable. This is where another principle of the Australian Constitution comes into place. The principle of responsible government. In its ultimate dimension, the principle of responsible government says that the representatives will be responsible not only to Parliament, but also to the electorate. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this brief video about the principle of representative government in Australia. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and I will certainly see you again. Until then, ciao.